I have over 5,000 hours in Hearts of Iron 4. The skills you will witness in this video have took over 8 years of training, grinding, and polishing to reveal to you the feature that nobody is using in Hearts of Iron 4, and it's pretty damn OP. Question is, why aren't you using it? And I am Feedback Gaming, and I play games in unconventional ways. And I will just show you how to win World War II without putting a single troop into the continent of Europe. Air only? Kind of. First of all, you're on civilian economy, so you need infrastructure. Where do you build it? Build it in the areas that have got the best states. In this case, it's gonna be here, 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 and then here, and then here, and then here. Of course, it's always important to work on your economy, and that's what we're gonna do. And even though we're gonna be going full air, we're gonna go for some artillery to begin with. This doesn't make any sense. Trust me, it will make sense. Soon. Next up, we need an army, right? Next up, merge the navy. Focus, limited rearmament. Get rid of all that, just need the supply. Okay, I know this upsets a lot of people, me deleting these ships, so we'll finish off the ones that are more than 50% complete, alright? I know there are some big ship lovers in the chat. Can you guys make yourself aware? Come on, let me know. I'm a big ship lover. I know when I've got ship lovers in the chat, because when I call them boats, you guys get really mad. Complete the ships, build convoys. Nice. The rest of the guns, the mills, go into the guns. And then finally, the planes. Grab those from all around the world. Don't forget Arabia, don't forget Malaysia, and delete them. All right, next up, sell all my guns, all the equipment, all of it. Best thing to do at the very start of the game is to sell everything, put it on a high price, because every country in the world has deficits at the start of the game. So straight away, we'll start buying things at a super high price, and also auto accept. And then there you go, unpause the game and look at everyone buying. Netherlands, Colombia, Chile, France, South Africa. Nice. To be fair, when you're selling guns on the market at the very start of the game, you're boosting the allies because they're in the same market as you, but the Axis are not. Can everyone remember the first plot to Iron Man? You remember that, guys? That's right. The CEO was double dealing, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to boost relations with Germany, the stage where we can actually be inside of the market for Germany. I told you, I play games in unconventional ways. We've entered the market for Germany, and he's immediately buying weapons from us. And you can see here, they are buying our tactical bombers. Nice. Request garrison support from the British Raj, giving us 50k manpower. It's an easy way of getting manpower. And then we go local autonomy and then garrisons. Max compliance out in all of Africa, getting loads of free manpower. Easy. Steady as she goes, followed by home defense or war support. And I'll show you the little exploit for the UK that you can do over and over again to get early mobilization. Super easy, super effective, unconventional. International market, and they're still buying the bombers, not buying anything else. Okay. This is the part where you go into the market and you drop everything to a low price. Because now they've had their deficits reinforced and they balance their books on a lot of their equipment. They'll only buy if we're competing with other people's markets. In this case, we'll put everything low priced. You see this here, the economic capacity surplus. This is basically free construction bonus. And if you look really closely on the tooltip here, you can see you get a maximum construction bonus of 27%. 27% construction bonus at the start of the game is absolutely massive. It's huge. Also, we've got more infrastructure we can buy. Build it in areas that have got resources. We'll do concentrate industry because I'm feeling very opposite today. Let's just go for raw production output. Hey, what's this? What's this? Something's about to happen. Explosion. Improve relations with regular Spain. Attaché for the +10 war support. We now have 32% war support. And when we gain a little bit of political power, that's the earliest partial mobilization of them all. Now we can build a few civs. We'll build here, here, and here to begin with. Just a few civs just to stimulate the economy. And then we move on to raw mills. Bit of world tension, now we can do the shadow scheme. Request garrison support from Malaysia, another 50k manpower. Don't think puppets are willing to give their manpower unless they're lower than a dominion. Hence the reason why the Raj and Malaysia are okay with it. What about Burma? Yeah, Burma too. They will give 70k. Guys, free manpower. Remember, whenever they give garrison support, which is this here, see, request garrison support, it means that your manpower is freed up and can be added to this pool up here. So by adding the extra garrison support, the garrisons are now placed in regions around the world like here. And you can see them by going into occupied territories. Equipment log right here. And then you can see the manpower. And you can see current garrisons that are British are 346 dudes. But the very rest are international peacekeeping forces in Africa to occupy and progress colonialism Okay, Air Force, important. We are going to go for night operations. Give ticking air experience. Now we can actually start playing the game. There are only a handful of nations in Hoi 4 that start off with experimental weapons unlocked to begin with. One is Britain, that's got radar. I believe Spain also starts with helicopters. Someone explain the history behind that. And that, as far as I'm aware, are the only ones. Anyone else know any others? Because we're mobilized now, we can take advantage of our oil, so we'll do naval exercises. And we actually have got quite a lot of oil, because if you look here in Iraq, oh, that's right, Iraqi oil. Ah, what's this? Germany? You are buying rifles from us. Nice. Fuel our economy, that we will use that economy to defeat you one day. It's industry time. I'm going to put 2 mils onto guns, and now we're going to start making some planes. Okay, we've got the basic small airframe, which we don't have a design for, but we're going to make one. Let's upgrade the modules, and let's add on some machine guns. And the second one is going to be a bomb lock. Add the Mayo. We'll add an extra turret on that as well. At the moment, no extra modules are worthwhile. All right, the basic model is here. The Hurricane, but equipped for fighter bombing, which will make more sense later on. All right, let's go. First air wing, the Hurricane. Exercise those planes. As we add more and more planes to it, the XP drops. Oh, there we go. Zoom. All right, we've got a few more civs now. And we're making some mills now. The mill production is going to go full. Get all those mills on. All the ones with 100% infrastructure. Shuffle those to the top. War industrialist. Extra construction speed for those mills. And remember, we're getting all these bonuses. Can you see these ones? Right. They're the bonuses. Plus, if you look there, look at this. Extra economic capacity surplus. This is well and truly stacking all the modifiers. Let's focus on air now. So we're going to need survivability studies because we want armor. And with that, we'll also need the bigger machine guns, bigger engines, and the improved model at some point soon. And we've run out of aluminium. Just that easy. Subject, and who's got the most aluminium? It's going to be Malaya. We'll pull it from Malaya then. You can improve the infrastructure in Malaya if you want to. Only +9 aluminium. See all these other ones you gain. Like, look at the amount of tungsten and rubber. This is the best state in the game. Singapore, very big, very strong. But don't bother because you don't gain enough aluminium to make it worthwhile. And plus, Malaysia will actually build their own infrastructure up, so you don't need to do it. I do think it's kind of funny at the very start of the game. You can do Benelux intervention, this one. And then you can secure Belgium, because Belgium has, now it's got a focus tree, has more than 20% support for either communism or fascism. If you want to, you can declare war on Belgium at the very start of the game. You honestly, there's probably an advantage to that, because that means they join the Allies early, and you can build more of a defensive wall against the Germany. Christ, I'm actually talking myself into this. The forbidden fruit. Okay. All right, let's do it then. Army offense, 10 divisions, train them. Dave, you're going against the principles of this video. Yeah, but this is fun. I'm having fun, okay? Press 1 in the comments if you enjoy having fun when you play Hoi 4. No, Dave, I'm here for the history. No fun allowed. All right, naval invasion. Exercise up. Big attack. And of course, logistics. Supermarine. Penalty. 2 range, but agility bonus. And we're going to stack production, agility, defense, speed, agility. I think you get the idea. Ground attack is what we're going to stack. We can either go for production output or range. Being at this point, when we get so far down on the Mayo upgrade list, we're probably just better off going for the stats. Secure Belgium from the Belgians, because the Belgians cannot be trusted. Press 1 in the comments if you do not trust the Belgians. Also subscribe to this channel if you don't trust the Belgians. We're working towards the artillery now, and you're about to see what the objective of this campaign is. It'll make more sense, and it definitely is the most unconventional to play, and you'll love to recreate this. So we're going to go now for improved artillery upgrade. France would like to join the Allies. Welcome. Come on in. Belgium is guaranteed by France and the UK, but it doesn't matter because we're about to declare war on them. Belgium's like, so thankful for a little bit of coastline. We have access to the ocean. Well, you're going to regret that now because now I have access to you. Secure Belgium. Yep, this is something you can do now, and I will take advantage of that. Boom, off we go. Naval invasion support. Don't think they're even prepared for me. We're landing, and are we going to get a foothold? There we go. Help them out, engage, go forward. Great, really weird front lines here. We're not going to bring France into this war because we want all of Belgium. And then we push, and make a front line, and be aggressive, and push. And plus, send the planes over, I guess. Yeah, there we go. Do a little bit of cast damage. Oh, the shadow scheme has been activated. France would also like to join the war to defeat Belgium. I don't know, I kind of find that kind of funny. Okay, we're going to do a staff office plan. Get that max planning bonus, which Britain is fantastic at. And then 3, and a 2, and a 1, and off you go. I'm really surprised. They're actually holding out quite well. Are we at war with anyone else? No, Belgium just has a very, very good armed forces, which I'm very thankful of. Unfortunately, Brussels is now. We get the all of the nation. Okay, So, surprisingly, the Congo is not in this peace conference. That's really interesting. The question now is, what do we do? Do we occupy them or do we make them a puppet? I feel like I want to make them a puppet. That feels just kind of more Britain thing to do, you know? Make them a colony and then take all their factories. Once again, a very Britain thing to do. And then take all their resources. A very Britain thing to do. And we have the beautiful Belgium, which is a supervisory state. Another list to be added to my subjects. Every expansion gets more subjects for Britain. Anyway, we've got this one. So this is the supervisory state. So this is basically the democratic puppet, even though I've got colonial states. It doesn't make any sense, but here we go. So this basically means they slowly break free and they give some of our trade. And they, to be fair, it's a really bad puppet. It's the worst one in the game. Once again, Paradox love to give bad improvements for democratic nations. It is what it is. Issue gas masks. Yeah, why not? Aluminium is a problem. Get some from Canada. So, pro tip. If you're ever running low on resources and you want to know a way you can produce more resources locally, you hover over this. Can you see this? So you go into your resource screen and you can see here, aluminium is what we need. And this is what we've currently extracted. Extracted basically means produced. Kind of strange because you don't pull aluminium from the ground. Do you? Actually, no. Aluminium is a raw resource. We're learning about the periodic table here with Feedback Gaming. Now, if you look here, you can see 15 aluminium is being produced in the Scottish Highlands. But if you look right there, British Guyana is producing 96 aluminium. If you find that, whereabouts could Guyana be? And there we go, right here. Boom. Build infrastructure, again, an extra 54 aluminium. That's an insane amount of aluminium. But you know what? We can go one step further than that. We can change it from local autonomy, forced labor, very Britain of me, plus 40% local resources. And boom, the result of that is you now have 127 aluminium. And now importing is probably not going to be required when we build this infrastructure up. Britain, you're so good at this, you know? Britain has had a lot of experience in this colonizing business. Same again, we're low on resources. And most of our oil is from Baghdad. Can we actually improve it? No, we can't. Okay, never mind. It's unfortunate that's not even classed as a puppet. It's just basically a nation that we're yoinking the oil from. Once again, a very Britain thing to do. We're also gaining oil from Mexico as well. Can't improve that either. Okay. Getting oil for Britain from the ground is actually kind of difficult. In that circumstance, probably just import it from America. Oh, it actually was the fleet that I had up that was causing the oil to go down. Okay. Usually when you're in peace, naval invasion support doesn't use fuel, but that must be a glitch. Below the autonomy of the British Raj. You know what? I'm actually going to do that. More resources from the Raj. Sounds about right. If you ever want to know what the puppet status does, go into manage subjects, which is here. Find the puppet, in this case is the British Raj, and hover over the current status of it, which in this case is a puppet. And if you look here, you can see you're gaining extra trade and you're extracting more manpower from them when you use their divisions. Nice to know. Personally, the only puppet that is really worth your time is a integrated puppet, which is what Malaya is at the very start of the game. Yeah, British Malaya. Oh, this guy's got a citation. Took part in the occupation of Brussels, the former seat of the Belgian government. Was the first onto the beaches in the landing at Ghent. Wow, what a lad. Okay, time to go for general rearmament because we're going to get the bonuses for our planes. Plane production is too damn high. More planes. And that now adds a total Air Force size. If you click onto air in the top left here, then you go all the way to here. Click on equipment details and then move to here. You can see we have 1,508 planes in total. And most of those are the fighters. It's actually kind of interesting how I've broken the shadow scheme. Chamberlain is actually the interventionalist here. Appease, I think not. Bigger engines. Yes. Top that off as well. Improve the Myo for the plane. Always worth the extra stats. Stats on planes go a long way. Long way. They're very important. Don't misunderestimate the power of stats on planes. Oh well, compliance is high. Compliance is ticking down though, so you do gain less resources, but it is worth it overall for that 50% extra resources. Now we're producing 172 aluminium, which I think is probably the biggest aluminium producer in the entire game. Let's have a look. Is there any more in Hungary? Not per state, no. Yep, we're the biggest aluminium producer in the world. Wait, hang on. What's this? Yugoslavia? Okay, maybe not. Probably not. I don't know. There's probably somewhere in the world that I've missed. Don't look in Asia, though. There's no aluminium in Asia. As you can probably guess, I've played the UK a fair amount of times, okay? So I do quite know how to play a good UK. Victory through air power. And then we can go for branch independent spirit. And as you can see now, we're gaining loads of ticking XP. You see here, daily gain 0.41 per day. Suppose you could take it one step further if you sent an attaché to China. And you know why not. Fortunately, boosting Chinese relations is a little bit difficult because we hold their core territory with Hong Kong. And they're not very happy about that. So you have to boost relations for a little while before you go any further. And there's always some good time to make some more mills. And then we'll also just make a few more civs as well, just to keep the economy going. Remember, you need to import resources as well as produce things as well. Nice balance between both is the best. Best of boths. Good relations. Dache. Hong Kong is forgiven. Now we're getting a little bit more air XP from the air battles that China are doing, which they're not doing a great deal of them. But they have some planes, I guess. Where's the air intel? They have between 74 and 108 planes. Once again, not a massive amount, but some. Okay, I'm going to send a bunch of guns to Belgium. Basically all my guns. What I want them to do is to make their own army. Proper army. I realize the Belgium Congo is still called the Belgium Congo, even though they're not a puppet of any nation. They're actually fully independent now. Yeah, I completely broke the game when I did this. Belgium Congo is buying equipment from Hungary. Hang on a second. I feel a betrayal's coming. I think right now with 59 factories on fighters, I think we're doing okay. I actually realized that I can't build forts inside of Belgium too. And anti-air. Maybe when we're in a war together, maybe I'll be able to do. No, I don't think you can actually. So I suppose I should have occupied the land. I should have annexed Belgium, said every German and French person ever. But not the British until today. Agency. Let's detect those planes. Actually, that's actually kind of silly, actually. You don't make an agency as Britain because you get one for free when you do expand the MI6. All right, planes. We've upgraded them. We're not going to go for range because we're going to be fighting locally with our aircraft. In that circumstance, we are going to go for self-sealing. And we could also do armor plates. Range is very limited, though. But this will give it a nice amount of defense. Yeah, let's do that. Fortunately, the rubber requirement has now gone through the roof. Let's get that from Malaya. Oh, there we go. All problems solved now. All problems are resolved by Malaya. We can build airports, though, inside of Belgium. So I think I'm going to do that. And they build incredibly quickly, too. Faster fighter production. Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? You can make the costs for planes go down, but they don't necessarily need more resources. So you end up increasing the production by dropping the overall cost, but it still needs the same kind of resources. It almost feels like they're cutting corners and like, hang on, we'll not just put a plate on this side, or maybe it'll be missing a wing, you know? Someone's going to reverse engineer the logic to that in the comments. I can feel it. Oh, but Dave, technically what they could be doing is... No. I like this. I can unleash their equipment back to them. The ultimate insult to injury. Yes, you can have your trains back now. All right, this is what we came for. All right, we're reaching the point we needed to be, all right? Rocket artillery. Hang on, you're making air only, right? Why do you need rocket artillery? Well, it's this. Rocket rails. Now, the beauty of rocket rails is they're technically close air support modules for planes, but they have an extra bonus. When they're doing missions, see this, logistical strike and close air support, they don't have a penalty to agility like bombs do. Like you can see here, there's a penalty to agility. You don't want that. That's bad. Maximum agility means that these planes can do their bombing runs and still have high defense, meaning they're less likely to get shot down. And the mission we're going to be doing is a logistical strike. Whoa, spoiler, rockets. Let's go. Once we get about 6,000 planes, where are we now? We have 4,000. We can start upgrading the old designs because it's less important getting the raw numbers and more about keeping the stats as high as possible per plane. It's really strange we're in 1938 and I feel like I completed the focus tree for Britain. Hello, old focus tree, my old friend. Anyway, MI6. Let's get James Bond. Right, I believe the Maya is level 6 now, so you can go into policies here and select an extra bonus, and we are going to max that agility some more. Now you can go back to here, improve it, extra agility, extra max speed, boom, planes are now maximum statistics. However, it's still not perfect. It's still a work in progress, which will make sense in a moment. Hence the reason why we're going to upgrade soon. German Reich dominates Dutch trade negotiations. Okay. Okay, is that a problem? Here we go, max airports in the Belgiums. Send the planes over. Oh, right in the middle of the air zone. So the way air zones work, as you can see, this is the Benelux region. See this Benelux region? And this is the region here. See it? So as long as you have range to have access to this region, you will get 100% mission efficiency, which is this number. Right now, it's not currently very high because they're getting into position. Oh, the airbase is overcrowded. Okay, we're working on that anyway. But anyway, if you're in the center of the zone, this is the range. In this circumstance, it means they'll have access to the whole zone, meaning they'll get 100% mission efficiency. So I'll split those up. You can see now their mission efficiency. I'm making their way back up to 100%. There you go. See, it says minus 90%, but right now they don't have full mission efficiency because they're not put on a mission, but that's not important at the time being. All right, it's time to do the upgrades. Big upgrading time. Boom. So now we're upgrading all the old planes over to the model that got the Mayo upgrades, the policy for the Mayo, as well as the changes I've made to the aircraft, such as adding extra armor plates. And also we're going to upgrade the agency because having an agency means more air detection, meaning we'll be able to detect their planes more effectively and shoot them down. Plus, we're also going to make a better radar too. Which also makes me think I should have occupied Belgium so I can build a radar in them. Because you can't build a radar unless they've got the technology. Which they don't. Anyway, let's work on my own radar. Air defense. Let's go. Guarantee Polish sovereignty. I care about Polish sovereignty. I will not be committing any troops to that region. For reasons I will never explain. History joke. Got the stability, so why not go for refuge for Italian and German scientists? Extra research is big for Britain. If you want to follow your upgrades more efficiently and visually see the upgrades happening, change to a different model. In this case, we'll look for something swanky like that. And then when you click on the air wings, you can see which are the old models, which are the new ones. In this case, actually the vast majority are the new ones. They've all changed their icon over. I don't think we've got many to upgrade now. Oh, we only have got 700 left to upgrade, so yeah, easy. One of my favorite things to do as well is when you've got excess production, you build it inside the British Raj. And you can reduce their autonomy, steal their manpower, steal their resources. Do something that Britain would normally do on a normal Tuesday. Also, this upgrade's quite worthwhile to improve equipment conversion, which means you can convert all those planes over at rapid speed. Radar! And you get the research boost as well. And also, Britain loves science, so electronics, giving a further boost to research via radar. And then you can upgrade the radar here. And eventually, if you get a radar big enough, the range on it will cover all of this region too. Means it gives you extra air stats for your planes. The biggest one is air detection. I mean, you can detect enemy planes more easily and efficiently, which will help for the bombings we're about to be doing. We've got the improved small airframe now, but we're not going to upgrade that straight away. We're going to upgrade the old models first, and then we'll move over to the more advanced plane. The biggest advantage of the new plane is it has extra slots, which therefore we can add on extra bombs. Research the jet engine. We're not going to use it, but do it anyway. Germany has declared war on Poland. Nobody saw it coming. All right, time for the video, boys. Logistical strike. That's the one we're going to go for. Now, first of all, what is logistical strike? It allows you to attack the logistics capabilities such as trains and trucks. Also railways as well. And also supply depots. But for some reason, the tooltip doesn't say that. And let's just use Poland as an opportunity of a kind of a bit of a playground to test this out. So, back to the Allies. And then we'll send our planes over to do some logistical striking. More air crews. Top that off as well. We're going to do air crew surveys and centralized control. We're also going to down strategic destruction, which is the left path. Ground support's a goodie. This will max our agility. Now, you will take lots of losses with logistical strikes because they are affected by ground-based AA. If you look really closely here, you can see this is the damage that we're doing. This is enemy losses. Remember, these are losses of their planes. Remember, these are on a mission which isn't to dominate the air and do dogfights, but it's just simply for the purpose of hitting enemy logistics. But we're still outgunning them 7-3, and also that's the anti-air loss as well. You can see the damage that we're doing. This is to specific logistics, like trains and trucks, and this is to the actual buildings, such as logistical buildings and railways. This is not going to make a big difference, really. This is just to kind of like work our way in, maybe get a bit of air XP, and just kind of slowly soften them up. You can see that we're actually making an actual realistic damage. If you want a full breakdown, click on details here, move this over, unpause the game, and you can see clicking on months, and you can click on this region, and it doesn't seem to give me a breakdown of any losses. Oh, you have to go on days. You see our fighters lost, their fighters lost, and you can specifically see trains lost 1, trucks lost 23. It doesn't give a building damage. Oh, building damage is here. So there you go. You can see the key factors here that are actually impacting our logistical strikes. Will it make much difference to their ability to push forward? Not really, no, because right now their supplies are maxed out. And if you look really closely at their intel and you go into civilian, you can see how many trains they've got. Load, and they've got loads of trucks too, and their supply is almost 100% fulfillment. So right now we're not making much of a difference. But once again, slow and steady wins the race. This is the power of a logistical strike. We bomb, we do damage, and we wait. The range is not in our favor here because we're going to be fighting mostly locally at home. So I don't really care too much about if I'm a little bit under our air efficiency. Once again, not optimized for multiplayer, but more optimized towards local defense. Don't forget to upgrade your radar from the maximum range. Lost Warsaw, and all these air bases are getting overfilled. But we've done a decent amount of damage over the last few days. You can see we've bombed 1 supply depot, lost 1 train. They're losing a lot of trucks. 135 trucks lost in the last week. That's massive. Anyway, send them back home, because unfortunately Poland is one truly donezoed. Now we can do logistical strikes in northwest Germany. Now, northwest Germany is quite unique because it has no ground-based AA. So if you go here, you can see here, let's say in the Rhineland. Actually, we'll have to go into Berlin. You can see here, look, AA 205. And this will do a lot of damage to planes on logistical strikes. However, this region, northwestern Germany, has here, 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 and here, and here. None of them have ground-based AA. So you're very welcome to here to do bombings, which we are doing. See this? Bombings, bombings. And for the most part, we're not actually taking that many losses. Goodbye, Poland. Rip. And for the most part here, we're just dogfighting enemy planes as they're trying to defend us from doing these logistical strikes. Lost 6 trains. There's no trucks here because they're not doing prioritized supply. And once again, the trades here are not actually that bad. We're kind of losing 1 for 1. Sometimes slightly more in their favor, but I'm okay with that because we're knocking out trains. 11 trains lost, 18 trucks lost, enemy buildings destroyed, either railways or supply depots, 9.3. How does that equate to? It's hard to put into images because railways are very significantly easier to destroy because they're so weak, but supply depots are significantly higher. All right, the rockets are done. So now we can do the final part of the upgrade. So we can go into here, replace the cast weapons for rocket rails. And this gives the biggest boost to agility because you don't lose any agility. However, we are losing some ground attack. What's the ground attack? We're going to go from 4 to 4. What? Bomb locks do 6. Rocket rails do 4. No, it is 2 less. But for some reason, it's showing us a green arrow pointing up as if it's going up. No, it's not going up. It's going down. What's kind of confusing now is that Germany isn't actually at war with Belgium, my puppet. So they're kind of blocked. Because the AI never declares war on puppets that they board it. Now, they really should. They should, but they don't. Anyway, anti-tank. That's the thing, apparently. That'll make more sense later on as well. I also realized I'm only using basic machine guns. I go for the heavy ones as well. Here we go. All the upgrades, all of the time. 12 months have passed. Well, that's not true. Not 12 months. 4 months. 5 months. Push. 24 trains lost. 48 trucks lost. These are rookie numbers, though. However, you look at the total amount. They still have loads of... Hang on. No, they don't. They've run out of trucks. Oh, trains are next though. All right, we've graded all the planes now to the model that has rockets and also has the latest upgrades and the latest Mayo improvements. So now we can go from the basic airframe to the improved, and we can now go full on with all the upgrades. So heavy machine gun initially, then we're going to go for double rocket rails, doubling the amount of logistical strikes. Then we're going to go for armor plates. Then we're going to do the self-sealing. Because we've got an extra slot, we can add a turret on. Feels very unfighter-like, but you know what, I don't care. Wondering if we're going to the German focus tree, whether they have a declaration on the puppet state of Belgium. It would be around the Maginot, wouldn't it? Yeah, they do have a war goal against Belgium, so they'll hopefully declare war on them, hopefully. Norway time. And then we intercept their troop transports and absolutely massacre them. And this means they lose so many, so many divisions at sea. Yeah, we intercept them over and over again, and you can see, look at the strength of these divisions. See, the orange bar is really low, meaning they're about 5-10% strength. They're all troops that have been lost at sea. Another troop transports again, intercepting them, completely ripping the navy in half. What I've done is put the fleet on always engage. I suppose we can use all the other improvements as well. Repair and position is always a good one to go for. Yes, they may have landed. Yes, they may be doing damage to Norway, but they're also taking some pretty hefty losses. And reduce the autonomy of the Raj. I'll do that. At the same time, I don't care too much about the Raj, so I'm just going to build random factories everywhere inside of them. Okay, they've declared war on the Netherlands and also Benelux. So now I'm going to send all the planes over to here and do logistical strikes. So now we'll be hitting anything that's in this specific zone. They are hitting the Dutch quite hard. And the Luxembourgians. Are they at war with Belgium? Yes, they are. All right, okay. It's actually on now, boys. It's actually on. All right. The planes are exercising. I don't care if they're low experience. So what we're going to do is move them over. Move them here. Do logistical strikes. Now we have 6,000 planes doing logistical strikes in this region. Let's have a little peek and see what the damage they're doing. They need oil now. We've lost our Iraq oil. We've lost our Mexican oil. America, help us out with oil. And there we go. We're actually doing damage by hitting the buildings here. I want to see if this is going to make a worthwhile impact or how slowly they creep into the Dutch. I'm almost certain it will do, because once again, as I said, the power of logistical strikes is big. We have so many planes right now and so many in the air, so we need even more fuel. They are breaking into the Dutch right now. However, we are doing so much damage. Killed 3 trains. Oh, look, all this railway and logistical damage. It's not very visual, I'll admit. Oh, you can click on the state here and see that we've destroyed all the railways here and the infrastructure's shredded as well. However, they are still pushing because German Air Force Strunk. Chamberlain has resigned. We now have the Churchill man. Right, Netherlands has collapsed. The attack into Norway has been repelled, and oh, the losses are catastrophic. Let's have a look. Germany, the losses. You've lost Oh, wow. All of it is lost to France. Okay, maybe those numbers are kind of weird. Maybe they're not showing the actual numbers as losses that I've inflicted on them. I thought the numbers would be a lot higher. Never mind. Okay, I've lost 2k though. So basically no losses. Okay, logistics. They are going. And the train losses are massive. How are they looking for Germany? They have 51 to 53 trucks and 122 trains. We can do way better than those are rookie numbers. As you can see right now, because the agility is so unbelievably high on these aircrafts, we're out trading them. 18 losses on the German side. This is the German side. And only 4 losses on my side. So even though they're doing strikes that are technically not air superiority, dogfighting, interception missions, they're actually dueling them and beating them and annihilating them whilst on logistical strike missions. Oh yeah, don't forget about doctrines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We maxed them out? Almost. We need 1 more. This gives extra agility. Now you can see the ratios are way in my favor. 5 losses on their side, 1 losses on my side. 11 losses on their side, 6 losses on my side. Okay, the numbers are clearly in my favor. Max the radar out, almost consuming half of the North Sea. I think it's kind of funny how the German pocket here has just been left here to burn attrition and low supply, hiding in the woods of Oslo. Norway just doesn't care about getting rid of them as well. Meanwhile, trouble in the south, attack the Italian logistics. What are they looking like? Oh, a lot better. A lot better than the German one. Supply fulfillment for Germany is currently 4%. However, they still have quite a few trains and trucks. We need to do more about that. Those are rookie numbers. Pride of the fleet sunk. That is the end of the German Navy. Yep, they have 1 ship left. They have a single light cruiser. Yes, that is the end. Meanwhile, it's also the end of Norway. Oh, well, whoops. Oh, dear. The French are on the counterattack. Oh, dear. And they seem to be doing quite effectively as well. I think that's the end of Germany. If you press F4 here and look at the supply map mode, you can actually see the railway lines that are damaged. See these yellow ones here? These completely are scrapped and ripped apart. Their ability to move supplies to these regions is significantly limited. Okay. Front line for the Belgian troops, remember, not the British troops. We're not going to lose any British brave soldiers here. Oh, no, no, no. They're still at home right here defending the coastline. Then we're going to attack and put them on close air support as well as logistics. Oh, dear. So many divisions, but all of them are so low supply and like low strength. Well, therefore, they don't do very well. These are new tactics. Street fighting and defend the city, which reduces the combat weight. It makes cities harder to take, basically. Right. The 6-pounder has been done, which unlocks something very special here. The anti-tank module Mark II, which has massive ground attack, but big penalties to agility. But who cares? Because we've got max air superiority now with... How many planes? 5k. Yeah, it's not really a problem anymore, is it? So now we design a plane that is mostly about ground attack. So now you can replace the rockets with the anti-tank cannon 2. And you can only have 1 of those, so again, the next one's going to have to be the anti-tank cannon 1. I believe this is too heavy now. Yep. The weight is higher than the thrust, so it cannot take off. However, you can put double engines on it, I guess, and that will be enough. Yes. Problem now is because we're on the offensive too, we need range. I believe we don't have the technology for that. No, we don't have the range. Nope, range improvements is something I've just forgotten about. Fallen by the wayside. Dave, you're not a pro player. What's going on? It can be very annoying in Greece here now they've joined the Allies. So what we do is we build big airports here and here. And we place a substantial number of planes here. Do logistical strikes and close air support, and then you just kind of pin them in this region. The terrain's so difficult to get through. Having air superiority makes it basically impossible to break. Okay, range improvements, Myo improvement, extra fuel tanks. We'll go double extra fuel tanks, maximum range. Right, this is a very, very expensive plane now, so I wouldn't recommend upgrading it. Double engines on planes are not very cost effective. It's best always to go single engine. But double allows you to put very big fat guns on them. And that's exactly what I've done. I'm going to change the model too, so I know this is the version with the cannons. What the cannon one look like? This one looks pretty good. This is a bit of a bug by the AI here, but if they're trying to invade Norway, they'll do the initial invasion, and they'll constantly keep moving troops from here to here, back and forth, which allows you to intercept their convoys and hit them over and over again. And before you know it, you'll take out hundreds upon hundreds of different troops on convoys. Supply update. Trucks. You know what? They're not doing too bad. That's a decent amount of trucks. However, trains, on the other hand, 12. That's not very good. And then actual supply. That's not good at all. That's really bad. Meanwhile, no. Get back. Time for big push through Alps. Remember, these are Belgian troops. They're not British. Don't get it wrong. Belgium dying for the honor of the British Empire. What I like to see. And of course, micromanaging the front lines for Italy is always really frustrating for them. They always suck with it, don't they? Encirclement. Now you can see the amount of close air support damage is so massive due to the fact that cannons on this are just so big. Now we're upgrading all the old planes to the one. I don't know why we're calling this the Spitfire. We should call this the guy who subbed lad. Thank you for subscribing. I love you. Damn. Tell you what, slicing through the Italians, I never thought it'd be this easy. They've taken all of Africa, and they're like, wow, we did it! We got all of Africa, wow! And then they're losing their home territory. You always forget what you've got at home, don't you? You know? Like your mom, you know? We got KFC at home. It's not the same. Italy. Italy is now divided among the Allies and the Axis. Africa too. The next. Whoosh! The planes are about to arrive and make the difference now. Yeah, that cast damage so high. Never mind putting a turret on a tank. Why don't you put a turret on a plane? Yeah? That's where the damage is. Imagine how well these would perform if they were actually good divisions. Let's have a look. What do they look like? Okay, they're not really spectacular. But imagine if they were good divisions. Huh? Close your eyes and imagine. So what's the scores then? My contribution is 36%, which is unbelievably low to say how much I did. I only lost 6k casualties. Once again, they're all Air Forcemen. Belgium has lost 500,000, to be expected. Germany has lost a total of 3.6 million. 1.3 of that was from me. Meanwhile, logistical situation. So they have a few trucks. Okay, I'll give them that. They've got a few trucks. No trains. No, the trains will not run on time in this fascist regime. And supply fulfillment, 0. But it's because they've got no trains, basically. When you hit no trains, you have no supply. If you look really closely now, every single battle they're in, low supply. That's right, the jerry can. Suffering from big penalties to attack and defense. However, actually, no, just attack and breakthrough, because it doesn't make much difference for defense. When Belgium has no guns, we give them guns to supply their troops to win our wars. It all makes sense. The circle of life. Meanwhile, deploy another 6,000 planes, right? We'll exercise those to level 3 before we deploy them. We got the big numbers now, boys. Meanwhile, the Italian nation, well, what's left of it, the puppet nation of Mussolini, also has no trains and no supply. However, they have a copious amount of trucks. Can you just ignore the train system completely and just move everything by road? Is that not possible? I'll be honest, it'd be less efficient. I'll admit that, but I suppose it's supply of some kind. Resources back. Maximum aggression. Boosh. Well, we're learning a lesson here. There seems to be a maximum you can do with logistical strikes as well as close air support. Even if you've got all the stats in your favor, it does seem like they're really struggling to break that river line. Oh, wait, hang on. There's a push here. No. Denied. In and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Okay, late game strats. Ground. Attack factor plus 5% for the extra attack. Plus you can go for more advanced plane. But I don't care because the stats are practically maxed on this anyway. Extra slot is what's worthwhile for the advanced spiteful. So Belgium has taken some pretty hardcore losses in this war. Really, really hardcore losses. You look at their armies here, you can see, oh yeah, strength, super low. They've absolutely obliterated. Feels bad, man. Actually, I don't care because I'm British and they're Belgium losses. We will definitely put some flowers on their grave or monument. Anyway, moving on. They're not making any more gains here. The strength is too low. Their stats are awful. America, join. And at the same time, I'm just going to call everyone. Oh, everyone's already in the war. There we go. Now they're in the war. The Palestine government in exile. Reinstate them. That might have been a naval invasion. They're back. The Palestinians. The Trans-Jordan government in exile. Trans in Jordan? There's a joke there. But not today, because I don't want to get demonetized. I love all my Palestinian Trans-Jordans. Press 1 in the comments if you are Palestinian or Jordanian. But no, my party's over. Palestine's been annexed. Like real life. I finally realized that relying on Belgian manpower is not the way forward. So Britain finally has to mobilize. We have to pay our 3% NATO budget. I mean, allies budget. These are the armies. These two. This is the template. This is the moving to the front. These are my 11,000 planes in reserve. These are them attaching to the army. And this is me making an attack that should hopefully be the end of them. Damn, so many planes. Fuel is becoming a problem. There's not enough fuel in the world to maintain this gigantic air force. There we go. The break. Usually always starts in the north. Make a push. Grab the coastline. Grab the supply depots. That is it. I was hoping to get them down to 0 trucks, but that never happened. Logistical strike, still pretty strong, though. It denies any offensive capabilities. And still on the defensive, they can still be quite strong. Because remember, most of the penalties for low supply are on the offensive. The 1943 Imperial Conference. I wanted to see what the Imperial Conference looks like now. Burma's independent. Discuss defense. Max political power. Persuasion. They all accept. Discuss imperial trade. Everyone, yes, max political power. They accept. Discuss the imperial economy. You know, fundamentally, the idea of unifying the British Empire just never would have happened. They're just too unbelievably different. Discuss appeasement. Has to be at peace. Okay, well, I guess we're not discussing appeasement. Discuss the Imperial Federation. Austria, South Africa says yes. New Zealand says yes. India surprisingly says yes. Canada too. Success! And then to do the final focus, Imperial Federation, you have to reduce the autonomy of everyone, which is quite a slow process. All right, who's going to be the surprise major power today? It's going to be Hungary. If you want to reduce the autonomy of everyone quicker, do this continuous focus. This one, suppress subjects. It reduces autonomy by 0.5 per day. Plus, you're also reducing it due to your other bonuses as well. Boom! That's Germany gone. Budapest. Really easy to invade Hungary due to the planes, and also there's no air penalties as well. The planes can feel free to just bomb them to annihilation. Anyone else going to become a major power? No, just Hungary. Boom! Yeah, due to my act of lack of support in this war, my contribution is actually quite low. I think Belgium and France has the biggest contribution when you rely on the AI to fulfill the peace conference. Oh, actually, that's not too bad. Ukraine's a bit weird. Interesting. Austria and France. You know what? That's actually not that bad. Meanwhile, in the east, China dominating Japan, and the United States island hopping their way towards Japan. Do the classic encirclement of Japan by embargoing them. The end. Just the autonomy of everyone. American Highland hopping has reached Iwo Jima. Oof. Foreshadowing bad events about to occur. Alright, and my fleet's arrived too. Max repair, max aggression, intercept those convoys. Embargoed. Easy way of reducing autonomy. You can't build buildings in dominions. So they're like, no, can't do that, can't do that. So you can't reduce their autonomy from building. What you can do is build supply depots inside of them. Useless supply depots, but it will reduce their autonomy. So it's worth it, right? Oh no. Oh wait, hang on. Win, loss? Looks like a loss. Okay. Okay. It does appear that Germany has declared war on Belgium. I told you before, everyone's like, Belgium should not exist. I see. Okay, I guess we're going to invade Germany a second time. The continuing logistical strike of Germany. Again. Boom. Japan's wrecked. Got 1% contribution. Can I grab anything for that? I'll grab a single island. Will America allow me? Yes, they will. Future military base. Build a radar. And a airport there. For the future memes. RPing. Oh, the Soviet Union are invading. Some things are inevitable, aren't they? Call all other members of the Allies. And there are a lot of them. Casually deploying another 6,000 planes. How can the Soviets handle the spam of 10,000 planes? The supply is actually pretty healthy. For how long, though? The full counter to this, by the way, is armored trains. So if you ever want to do this, you want to do armored trains here who have got armor to resist logistical strikes. Plus, they've got some anti-air capability so they can counter it back. Actively push back against them. All right, we've got the autonomy status significantly down, apart from a few of the new puppets they've added to the Middle East. Let's see how this pans out. The Imperial Federation. The Imperial Federation. We're no longer the United Kingdom. We're now the Commonwealth of Nations. And our flag is the globe. It's ambitious, isn't it? We don't quite own the globe. And now we have cored Canada. Is that actually working now? Are we coring? Yeah, we actually are coring them. That's good. Resistance is dropping to 0. That's good. We have cored all of Australia and New Zealand. And we don't core India, unfortunately, because I guess that's too OP. Burma still exists, so they don't get annexed. And I suppose all the old puppets are still a thing as well. We unfortunately have not annexed Palestine. We have annexed Malaya, though. So it does look like the Paradox I forgot to include this as a part of the new integrated stuffs. The final crown jewel to be integrated. Do we core South Africa? Yeah, we do. Oh, wow. Even core Namibia as well. Coring actual Africa by European nation? Mind blown. And then Italy. Damn! All the green is owned by the British Empire. Churchill would be very, 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 very proud of this timeline. Beautiful. Even Pakistan as well. No Burma, though. In conclusion, logistical strikes are very, very, very strong. However, they don't really help you on the offensive. They only really help you on the defensive. So it makes you question, you know, if you wanted to win, which you always want to do in Hoi 4, you might want to go for close air support. But overall, the damage you can inflict is pretty high. How many planes do we hand on? We have a total of 20,000 planes. Yeah, the Soviet Union aren't going to hold for very long. Meanwhile, the supply situation is pretty good, though, so they'll probably hold out for supply for the rest of the game. If you have enough trains, you can get supply forever. If your name is on screen right now, you are one of the elites, the best of the best, the creme de la creme. Thank you so much. And I hope you enjoy all the perks as well as early access videos. You deserve it. You're amazing. Good night.